Hey guys, it's Will. It's Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, welcome and thanks for finding us. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to give us a sub and a thumbs up and all that fun stuff, it would be much appreciated. Let's just hop right into the video. Let's not waste any time at all at the outset here. What are we here to talk about today? Just last night, as I am filming this video will not be up today, but as I'm filming this, just last night, Michelle Yeoh won the Oscar for Best Actress for Everything Everywhere All at Once. We all know that. It's so exciting. It was so amazing to see. And so I thought today, as an homage to Michelle Yeoh and in honor of the fact that she won the Oscar, I would count down my 5 favorite Michelle Yeoh movies. Just for you. This is probably going to be a pretty predictable list if you watch my channel, if you know my taste. If you've been watching my reviews recently of some Michelle Yeoh movies that have been coming out on Blu-ray, there might be one movie on here that's surprising, but I think it's going to be a pretty obvious list. But let's jump right into it. And I will say, before I start my list, I haven't seen Everything Everywhere All at Once. I know that's terrible. I know that's terrible. I've been so busy over the last year or so, and I just haven't had a chance to check that movie out. So hopefully I'm going to see it very soon. If you want me to review the movie on the channel, do let me know in the comments. And I would be happy to do that when I do watch it. I just don't know what people's level of interest in that is, because the movie's been out for a while and everyone, except for me, has probably already seen it. So I don't know how interesting a review would be. So let's jump right into this list. At number 5, I have a movie I have reviewed on the channel before. That movie is Super Cop 2, also known as Project S. Hell yeah. This was a sequel to Super Cop, the film with Jackie Chan and Michelle Yeoh, and it's a Michelle Yeoh starring film that's kind of like an early 90s post-heroic bloodshed, kind of like dark thriller, also kind of a Girls with Guns type of movie, but it's an exemplary Hong Kong action thriller kind of movie that combines gunfighting, martial arts, and a kind of more serious tone from that era. I really loved this movie. The Project S version of the film, which is the Hong Kong version of the film, I think is a little bit more intense and serious, and one of the main reasons for that is the music is different, and the music in the Hong Kong version is just a little bit more intense and kind of more brooding and darker. The film was directed by Stanley Tong, who also directed Super Cop / Police Story 3, who I think is a fantastic director. And I just think this is an incredible film. There's amazing fights and shootouts in this movie. I think the story is really interesting. It's got great locations all around Hong Kong. And like I said, I just really like the way Stanley Tong directs. His sense of pacing, his sense of mood, tone, scene work. I just think he's a really great director. So Super Cop 2 / Project S is number 5 on my list of my 5 favorite Michelle Yeoh movies. Coming in at number 4 is a film that was just released by Eureka Entertainment on Blu-ray and will be released. Eureka is a UK company, so it's a Region B release. It will be released in the US Region A in May as part of a box set. The film is Royal Warriors. So the film was released in 1986, and it co-stars Hiroyuki Sanada, who is Japanese, and Michael Wong is also in the film. It's just a really solid, again, dark thriller. These are the types of movies I really like. This film is, I would say, much darker than Super Cop 2. It's a really great character-driven film that gives a lot of agency to its characters. The characters have great arcs. The way that their relationships with one another change over the course of the movie is very well done. The character work in this film and then the nature of the film as a dark, kind of revenge, character-driven thriller really reminded me of Ringo Lam and John Woo, who are the best at doing those types of films. And I had only seen this movie once before, so I revisited it with the Eureka release, and it really just is an incredible movie. The directing is so solid. The pacing of it, the character work, great action scenes. There's a chainsaw fight. There's a bit with a tank. There are amazing shootouts. There's this fantastic nightclub shootout. Johnny To was the second unit director on this film, so there's some amazing trivia for you there. Like, one of the greatest directors of Hong Kong action and thriller films is the second unit director on this movie. So it's just a great movie, and I highly recommend it. It's Royal Warriors. Now, number 3 on my list of my favorite Michelle Yeoh films is the one that I think maybe will surprise people. I don't know. The director of this film is one of my all-time favorite directors, like top 10 of all time, no joke, maybe top 5. And I don't think I've ever mentioned this person on this channel because they're not from Hong Kong. I don't know if I have, but I kind of don't think I have. What's really interesting to me about this film is that Michelle Yeoh and Hiroyuki Sanada are both in it, much like they are both in Royal Warriors. This film came out, I think, 21 years after Royal Warriors. The film is Sunshine, directed by Danny Boyle. Danny Boyle directed Trainspotting, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. There's so many other incredible films. But I love Sunshine. And Michelle Yeoh is fantastic in this movie if you're unfamiliar with it. And it was written by Alex Garland, who wrote 28 Days Later, who directed Ex Machina, who directed Annihilation. And it's a sci-fi movie, and the setup of the film is that the sun is dying. And so this team of scientists undertake this mission to go to the sun, to drop this enormous nuclear payload into the sun to try to reignite the sun, to keep the Earth alive. Cillian Murphy is in this film. You know, I think he's very famous for Peaky Blinders, which I've never seen, but I know that that's kind of like his big role right now that everyone knows him from. He plays the physicist in the film. And so there's all these different scientists on this mission, and Michelle Yeoh plays the botanist, and she just does a great job of playing that character. She brings a lot of compassion to it. You can see why she's a botanist, like her relationship to the plants, the meaning that they have to her. She provides the oxygen for the ship through the growing of the plants on the ship, and so it's a very pivotal role in the story. And the cast of this movie is just incredible. Like I said, Cillian Murphy is in it, Hiroyuki Sanada, Michelle Yeoh, Chris Evans, so Captain America is in this movie. Hell yeah. I just love this movie. I think it's so fascinating. It's got that really classic, almost like surreal, out there, dark sci-fi tone. Tonally, it's actually kind of similar to Fallen Angels, interestingly enough, the Warren Kar-wai film, but also films like 2001: A Space Odyssey and Solaris. And it's just a great movie, and I love it. And I think Michelle Yeoh was fantastic in it. And if you listen to interviews with Danny Boyle about that film, he was really, really excited to be able to have Michelle Yeoh in the film. And he talks a lot about that in the interview, so it's really cool. So now we are into my top 2, and these will probably not surprise you at all. I have spoken at length about one of these films, and I have spoken for sure about the other one, although I don't know how often I've spoken about it on the channel. Number 2, I have Super Cop. I'm a huge Jackie Chan fan, so how could I not put this movie near the top of my list? And Michelle Yeoh, she's really the co-lead in this film. I don't think you can point to any other single co-lead Jackie Chan has had who matches him in his charisma, his humor, his ability to do stunts, his ability to do fight scenes, his ability to hold the center of the film and just have that movie star quality, the caliber of the acting. Like, I really think Michelle Yeoh, and again, like, I mean, if you know me, you know that Jackie Chan is like the greatest action star of all time for me. No question. There's not even, you know, I don't even have to think about it. The fact that Michelle Yeoh is his equal in this film and holds the screen and those incredible stunts and her incredible performance, I just think it's transcendent, and I think this movie is so much fun. It is so fantastic. I love it so much. Now, I will say, obviously, in the films where Jackie Chan stars with Yoon Bi-yoo and Sammo Hung, they can hold the screen as well as Jackie in different ways. Yoon Bi-yoo is a much better acrobat than Jackie Chan, and he's very charming and funny or whatever, but I don't think he has the same leading man quality that Jackie has, that star charisma. Sammo Hung does have that leading man quality, but he doesn't do the insane stunts that Jackie does, and his sense of humor is very, very different. I think Sammo's just as funny as Jackie, but in a very different way. But I don't think that either one of them on their own is equal to Jackie in every measure. I think there are things that differ about them, whereas Michelle can match him on every single beat, on everything they do in this film, and it's really incredible to see. And I just love that movie so much too. So at number 1, that's number 2 on my list of my 5 favorite Michelle Yeoh movies. And number 1, I mean, it's kind of obvious. How could I have anything else? It's Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Now, I will say that if you put a gun to my head and you're like, I have to pick Super Cop or Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, I'd pick Super Cop. It's a more entertaining movie. I've watched it way more times, whatever. But as a Michelle Yeoh movie, I think credit has to go to Crouching Tiger, and I think it has to be at number 1. And let me tell you why. I've said this before on this channel, but I'll say it again in this video. I think that Michelle Yeoh's performance in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, I'm not exaggerating at all here, I really think that is one of the greatest screen performances of all time. And let me tell you why. Her acting ability in that movie, the performance that she gives, is phenomenal. It's this restrained emotional intensity. There's so many things that she wants. She has romantic wants. She has sexual wants. There's so many things that character wants to be doing. And there's so many layers of complexity to relationships that she has with all of the characters around her. But because of her duty and her position in society, all of that is behind her eyes. It's rarely, if ever, spoken. Or she keeps all of that inside of her. And you see it all. You see that intensity, the sadness, the longing, the desire. But she keeps it repressed because she has to be a certain person. And it's almost like this Marlon Brando-esque thing, or like Heath Ledger in Crouching Tiger, in Brokeback Mountain, right? That restraint and that internalized intensity is so incredible. On top of that, she's doing wire work. She's doing martial arts fighting. I mean, there's multiple fight scenes in this movie where she's like, there's the scene with Zhang Ziyi and the kind of the dojo thing where they're fighting with all these different weapons. There's the chasing across the rooftops. Like, her physical performance in this movie is like top caliber martial arts, world-class physical performance. And yet she's also giving this world-class acting performance, and both of those are like a 10 out of 10 for me. It's like a 10 out of 10 acting performance, a 10 out of 10 physical martial arts performance, and the fact that she is doing all of those things, it's like transcendent. It really is. I know I've used that word twice in this video, but it's just ridiculous to behold. She is so incredible in that film. It's just absurd, and that's such a great and incredible and emotional film. I mean, she and Chow Yun-fat together are the core of that film. They are the emotional core of that film. Even though I think you could probably argue the Zhang Ziyi character is maybe the protagonist, like Michelle Yeoh and Chow Yun-fat are the emotional center of that movie. And that is an incredibly, profoundly emotional film. And she holds it together so, so well. So my name is Will. You have been watching Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society. That is my top. I'm just crossing the movies off the list here. My top 5 Michelle Yeoh films. Let me know what yours are in the comments. I thank you so much for watching. Congratulations to Michelle Yeoh on her Oscar win in this incredible period that she's having in her career. We'll see you next time.